Lovely viewers, brace yourselves and gather close, because what we're about to share today will absolutely shake the very foundation of everything we've come to believe about the complicated, emotional, and endlessly fascinating connection between Song Joong-ki and Song Hye Kyo. Just when the world thought the story between them had long been closed and sealed away in the pages of history, a sudden and intimate twist has taken center stage. And no one saw it coming. Yes, it's real. Yes, it's shocking. And yes, it's stirring emotions in every corner of the globe. Song Joong-ki has reportedly made a secret visit to Song Hye Kyo in the hospital shortly after the birth of her baby. And we are still trying to process it. Can you imagine the scene? The quiet corridors of a high-security hospital, the air still with anticipation, and behind a private door, a new mother rests with her child. And then, the unexpected, he walks in. Song Joong-ki, the man once deeply tied to her heart, now stepping softly into her recovery room. No media frenzy, no flashing cameras, just him, and a heart full of reasons the world might never fully understand. Our beloved viewers, this isn't just a headline. This is real life unfolding in the most unpredictable way. For many, this moment has reopened old emotions. Nostalgia, confusion, curiosity. Some fans cried when they heard the news. Some cheered. Some question what it means. And here right now we're going to walk through every moment, every heartbeat, every possible motive and whisper behind this shocking development that no one was prepared for. The whispers started subtly. A nurse reportedly mentioned seeing someone strangely familiar, wearing a hat and mask in the early morning hours. Then, another hospital staff member confirmed that extra security was briefly placed on a specific VIP suite. And before anyone could make sense of it, it was revealed by a reliable insider. Song Joong-ki had been there. He had walked through those halls. He had stood just steps away from the woman who once wore his ring, holding a child she had just brought into the world. What did he say when he entered? Was there a pause? Did their eyes meet with shock or softness? Did he see the baby? Did Song Hye Kyo speak his name with surprise or something deeper? These are the questions that have flooded social media, flooded our inboxes, and flooded the hearts of every fan who ever loved the story of them, together or apart. According to very close and reliable sources, the moment was quiet, intimate, and full of emotion. Song Hye Kyo was not expecting him. She was recovering, cradling her child, when a soft knock came at the door. The nurses had stepped out for a moment, and then there he was. He stepped into the room and removed his cap slowly. For a moment she didn't speak. Neither did he. The room held its breath. And then, softly, she whispered his name. Song Joong-ki, standing in that hospital room, didn't come with cameras. He didn't come with grand gestures. He came with silence, with emotion in his eyes, and perhaps with 1,000 thoughts he had carried with him for a long, long time. Those who know the couple intimately say that this visit wasn't planned. It wasn't prearranged. It was something he felt he had to do. A pull from his soul that he couldn't ignore. And what about Lee Minho? That's the question everyone is asking now. Was he aware? Was he okay with it? Did he know before or after the visit? Shockingly, insiders close to the new family say that Lee Minho, ever the gentleman and protector of Song Hye Kyo, was informed about the visit shortly after it happened. And while no one can confirm his exact emotional response, one thing is clear. There is mutual respect between the two men, no matter the past. Lovely viewers, take a deep breath because this goes even deeper. According to sources close to Song Hye Kyo, the conversation between her and Song Joong-ki was not long, but it was emotional. He reportedly congratulated her. He reportedly said, "I had to see for myself that you're okay. That you're really okay." These few words carried so much weight, so much layered meaning. It wasn't about the past. It wasn't about regret. It was about closure, or perhaps something more. What's more touching is the moment he glanced at the child. We've been told he looked at the baby with gentleness. Not with sadness, not with pain, but with peace. There was no confrontation, no raised voices, just the soft hum of machines, the quiet of early morning, and two people once bound by love, sharing a moment in time that defied logic. So why did he go? That's the question still echoing across fan communities around the world. Was it love? Was it guilt? Was it his way of saying goodbye? Or was it something unresolved that needed a moment of real-world grounding? Many believe that this act shows that Song Joong-ki never fully closed the door in his heart. Not romantically, perhaps, but emotionally. That despite everything, he still cared deeply. That seeing Song Hye Kyo healthy, happy, and embracing motherhood brought him a sense of peace he didn't know he needed. And maybe, just maybe, it freed him too. Now let's talk about how Song Hye Kyo responded. She didn't cry. She didn't freeze. She reportedly looked him in the eyes and said, "Thank you for coming." And that's what truly broke fans around the world. That simple sentence, spoken from a woman who has weathered storms, lived through the public collapse of a love story, and risen stronger on the other side, says everything about who she is. Graceful, grounded, grateful. And when Song Joong-ki quietly turned to leave, she said one last thing. Sources haven't revealed it completely, but it's believed she said, "We're okay. You can rest now." And that, dear viewers, sent the internet into tears. Our community, our family of fans, what do you make of that? Can a moment like that carry years of closure? Can a brief hospital visit transform the emotional narrative of a former couple's past? Or was it simply a final act of kindness between two souls who once meant the world to each other? Since the news broke, fans have responded in so many ways. Some say it's a sign that the past can heal. Some believe it's a gentle reminder that love doesn't disappear. It transforms. Others see it as the perfect ending to a love that once bloomed brightly, now settling like soft petals in the pages of their shared history. And let's not ignore the emotional whirlwind this has stirred in fans of the Song couple. For years, many hoped they'd reunite. Some even created fan fiction and video edits, imagining a life where they returned to each other. This visit, this moment, has sparked those flames again. But is it fair to wish for a reunion when new love has already blossomed? When a new baby has been born? That's where the story becomes even more layered. Because no matter how shocking, how emotional, how unexpected this visit was, it was not romantic. It was human. And that's what makes it so powerful. Two people who once loved each other deeply, standing in a moment of truth, acknowledging the past and giving it space to breathe one last time. And what about Song Hye Kyo? Those close to her say she felt surprisingly calm after the visit. That she told one friend, "I'm glad he came, not for me, but for his own peace." That says everything, doesn't it? That's not someone looking backward. That's someone standing fully in her present, in her joy, in her new role as a mother, in her new life with Lee Minho, who has been by her side every single step of the way. So while the visit was shocking, it was also beautiful, poetic, healing. A quiet act that has now become one of the most talked about moments in Korean entertainment history. And now we turn to you, our beloved viewers. What do you feel after hearing this story? Is it sadness, relief, hope, maybe even a little bit of all three? Because this is what real life looks like. Messy, beautiful, surprising, and endlessly emotional. Stay tuned because we'll be continuing this story in full detail, exploring all the emotional layers, fan responses, possible outcomes, and what this means for everyone involved. And so, as Song Joong-ki quietly stepped out of the hospital room, leaving behind a moment that would ripple through the hearts of millions, something strange and beautiful lingered in the air. Something unspoken, something more profound than any headline could truly capture. It was a feeling, a breath held for far too long finally released. And for both Song Joong-ki and Song Hye Kyo, it felt like an ending and a beginning all at once. In the hallway, Song Joong-ki reportedly paused for a moment, just for a second, as if anchoring himself before continuing on. Perhaps he was processing what had just happened. Perhaps he was revisiting the memories of their past. The highs, the lows, the wedding, the divorce, the silence that came after. And now this. The moment he saw her, not as a co-star, not as his ex-wife, but as a woman reborn. A woman who had just brought life into the world. And somehow, witnessing her in that light did something to him that even he couldn't have prepared for. Those who saw him exit said he didn't speak a word. He simply nodded to the nurse, pulled his cap lower over his eyes, and disappeared into the elevator. But the weight of his visit remained long after he left. Hye Kyo, on the other hand, reportedly took a long breath after the door closed. She looked at her baby and smiled, then whispered something so soft the nurses couldn't make it out. But one thing was clear, she was at peace. There was no tension in her body, no lingering sadness, just an emotional stillness that can only come from truly letting go. And let's talk about the baby for a moment. Oh, lovely viewers, imagine this child, innocent, brand new to the world, already being wrapped in layers of love, past and present. The little one had no idea that just moments ago, a man from another chapter of their mother's life had come to offer quiet respect. But somehow, through the soft energy in the room, the child slept soundly, as if the world had just rearranged itself to bring a little more peace. Now let's zoom out a little. The world was watching not because they expected drama, but because they hoped for humanity. And when the news of this private, emotional visit surfaced, it was the world's empathy that flooded in. Social media lit up with messages of grace and forgiveness. Fans across continents began opening up about their own stories, visits from past loves, final conversations, long overdue apologies. Joong and Hye Kyo had unknowingly started a global conversation about healing, about how love, even when it ends, doesn't have to rot or disappear. Sometimes it transforms into something quiet, respectful, and freeing. And let's not forget how fans of Lee Minho responded. First there was worry. Was there jealousy? Was there conflict? But reports quickly cleared the air. Lee Minho had shown nothing but maturity and understanding. One source close to him said, "He knows what it means to love someone completely, including everything that made her who she is." And that statement, dear viewers, melted hearts across fandoms. It was even rumored that Lee Minho and Hye Kyo had spoken about the visit afterward, and the conversation was open, honest, and tearful, but not from pain, from release, from the beauty of being seen and supported. This right here is what makes this story so powerful. It's not about rekindling old flames or sparking rumors of a love triangle. It's about emotional evolution. About human beings showing up for one another in quiet, intimate moments that don't need cameras or scripts. Just heart. Even celebrities from the industry started sharing cryptic posts that seemed to reference the moment. One well-known actress posted, "Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is show up. Just once, to say nothing but to mean everything." Another actor wrote, "Respect is love in its purest form." And as for Joong, sources say he left Korea shortly after. Not out of avoidance, but because he had come for one reason only, to see for himself that she was okay, that her life was full, that the part of his heart that once broke in her presence could now rest knowing she was held in love, in safety, and in joy. Lovely viewers, can we pause together here for a moment? Breathe with us, because this is the kind of story that leaves you feeling everything all at once. Story that stirs the soul. One that's not about fairy tale endings, but about real-life grace. The kind of grace we don't see often enough. We've been through their journey, haven't we? From the euphoric wedding that dazzled the world to the heartbreaking divorce that stunned us all. We watched the distance grow. We read the headlines. We speculated. We hoped. And now, here we are, years later, witnessing the quiet closing of a chapter that once consumed the spotlight. But maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of anything. Maybe this is the peaceful transition from pain to understanding. From what once was to what now is. Hye Kyo has emerged from this journey radiant and strong. A mother, partner, a woman who has lived, loved, and now glows with a maturity that only comes from embracing all parts of your story. And whether you're a fan of her dramas or her real-life strength, you can't help but admire her now more than ever. Joong, on the other hand, walks away from this moment not as a forgotten chapter, but as someone who chose love over pride. who chose presence over silence, who honored his past with a gesture so small, yet so deeply unforgettable. And what now, lovely viewers? What happens next? That's the beauty of life. It continues. Lee Minho and Hye Kyo, with their new baby, are slowly adjusting to their new rhythm. Family of 3. A future full of potential. And as for Joong, he walks forward too, carrying peace in his heart where perhaps pain once lived. This moment in the hospital might remain private in its full details forever. And that's okay. Because the glimpse we've been given already speaks volumes. It's a testament to growth, emotional bravery, and the strange, beautiful ways that life circles back when we least expect it. And now we turn to you, our beautiful community of viewers, thinkers, dreamers. How does this story make you feel? What emotions did it stir in you? Did it remind you of your own past, your own losses or reconciliations? Or did it inspire you to believe that even in the quietest of moments, healing can occur? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments. Tell us how this moment touched you. Because this channel, this family, isn't just about news, it's about connection. And today we've all felt something real together. Until next time, keep your hearts open, your memories soft, and never underestimate the power of one quiet visit to change the course of emotional history.